Thank you for joining us today on Nigeria Today Live. And in today's segment of Tech and Gadget Corner, my name is Olusegun Olabode Ajakai, Head of Sales for Uranus Technology. It's such a pleasure to have you join us today. And I hope you've been gaining some insights and also getting to learn one or two things around technology and around cybersecurity as well. So, and I hope you've also been able to drop some comments in our previous episodes around what you've learned and areas where you think you also want us to talk about. But the interesting thing we want to talk about today is the future of work and looking at the buzzword remote work or hybrid work. I know since the era of COVID-19 where people actually had to stay from, work from home, and moments where we were trying to just try to get a grip around whether I'll be going back to the usual 9 to 5 every day where we have to resume at work. And I know fully well that several people have embraced that work from home model, while some are still using the old conventional approach around you have to come to work Mondays to Friday. Some even do it as far as say you have to come to work Mondays to Sunday. However, the case is, I know fully well that right now we are getting to that era where technology is now taking over so many things. People are now embracing newer ways to doing things, and some organizations now try to build in a kind of like work structure where they make it hybrid. You don't have to go to the office every day. You probably stagger the days where you get to work. And I think the important thing that we need to learn from that is the fact that for those who still, who still are lucky to still enjoy those kind of hybrid model, the question I have to say is this: how often as a business leader or as an entrepreneur, how do you track productivity when you have staff or employee trying to work from home? How do you track if your employee is actually doing things at the right time? Are there certain metrics or certain key tools you've also deployed as a business owner to make sure that people are actually held accountable when it comes to delivering results? And at the end of the day, you can also track productivity. And now the question goes back to those who are the employees. How well do you also utilize these tools to help you in your daily life? A perfect example is this. I know fully well some of you, except you want to lie, you've actually been in a management or a meeting, a Zoom meeting, and maybe the top of your dress, you're wearing a suit, and underneath you're maybe wearing the boxers. I know so many of you can relate to that as well. But I think it's always important for us to be able to see, utilize the work from home model and let it also build us in capacity building and being productive at the end of the day. So many people take advantage of all these things in the wrong way. Some probably try to, yes, work from home, but they end up probably not being productive and not utilizing some technology tool around how can they upskill themselves to become more adaptable to the new changes happening in the corporate world. And I think my advice also is to those who are coming into the corporate world, either as NYSC or as interns, try as much as possible to upskill yourself around how can you be adaptable to such new system when you're lucky to work in such environment. Now, a perfect example is this. You have your laptop as a device, which is what you use to work. You have some certain applications running on the laptop. How well do you utilize those applications to help you become more productive on the job? Now, do you also track your time as well too? If, for instance, you need to achieve a particular result, maybe like 30 minutes or 1 hour, do you also track, how do you track do it like a personal appraisal of how well you've been able to utilize your time effectively? Now, this takes me back to you also making use of several gadgets or several devices or several tools that will help you utilize your time quite effectively well. Now, there are several solutions or there are several tools which you can use to help you become more productive whilst you work from home. Number one, for virtual meetings and for presentation, I'll take virtual meetings first. You need to have Zoom. You also need to have probably Google Meet. Now, for your presentation, still within the same bucket list as well too, you can have a tool or a document, a solution called Microsoft PowerPoint, right, to help you with presentation as well too. There's also within Microsoft Suite, there's also Microsoft Word. Now, looking at your storage as well too, which is very important because I believe once you're working, You want to be able to access your document from a particular place. Now you have a cloud storage system that helps you with file sharing as well too. And now you have Google Drive or OneDrive, depending on which one your company uses as well too. You must be able to utilize such tools so that you can get access to your documents at any point in time to stay productive. You can be in your kitchen and you need to share a particular document. From the comfort of your kitchen, you can share those devices, those tools, or those folders to any member of your team. Another tool you need to have you need to have Andy is also a project and a task management tool. Now you can either download Trello, or you can also download Asana, or you can download Slack. Depends on which one you're quite comfortable with. Another solution that you can also have within your beck and call is a communication and a project management tool. Now I mentioned earlier Slack as well too, but here you're looking at probably your Microsoft Teams that helps you also communicate, also sync and collaborate with your team at the end of the day. Another very, very extra tip I also want to share with you is this. Imagine utilizing your calendar management tool on your phone or your laptop. There are several ones available. Calendly is an effective calendar management tool that you can send to people. They already see places where, like your blockers, if you're free, they know you're free and they can book your meeting ahead and also book you probably if they need to have an appointment with you. These are tools you need to have handy as someone who is probably working remotely anywhere you are. And I'd like to also share some certain things you need to also do, because I've come to realize that for those who work from home, they get carried away, and the extra time you work while at home will be way more than what if you have to quantify the hours you've worked at home versus when you were in the office. So you need to remember to take a break, do some leg exercise, probably you walk around, don't just sit, have a sedentary lifestyle, take a break in between, your task. Create a workspace for yourself too, which is very important. Your workspace is very, very, because it helps you stay focused, stay sharp, and stay on track with whatever you need to do at the end of the day. You also need to eliminate whatever distraction it is. In your study room or probably where you're working, your TV should not be installed close to you. So take away or eliminate distractions whatsoever it is. Also, be able to set boundaries. If you have kids around or you have a nanny, let them know when you're busy, or probably try to set up boundaries where people don't have to distract you. Another thing you need to do is create a to-do list. If you need to have a stick-it on the wall or some tiny papers where you take notes on, create a to-do list for yourself at the end of the day. And you should also be able to prioritize tasks as well too. According to urgent, not urgent, important, not important. Prioritize tasks according to the level which you want them to be. And the important thing you need to also do is this: dress for work. Yes, you can still dress for work. Be all suited and still wear your boxers or wear your skirt under, but at least you are dressed for work. Another thing you also need to do is to implement time management techniques to be able to utilize your productivity quite well. I hope you've been able to learn one or two things or a few tips we've shared today. Feel free to also drop with me in the comment section things you've been able to learn, and what are the things or the tips you would like to share so people can learn from you, for those who have probably been utilizing the work from home model quite well. We look forward to you again during our next episode. Thank you for watching us today. Feel free to follow us across our social media platforms at Galaxy TV. And my name is Olusegun Olabode Ajakai. Also, feel free to follow me on social media, on LinkedIn at Olusegun Olabode Ajakai, and on Twitter, Body of Lagos. We look forward to seeing you same time next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Welcome. Thank you so very much, Olusegun Ajakai, for telling us about the future of work with tech and gadgets, basically. I think the future of work, basically, I think it's more like saying in the nearest future, working is going to be more of tech and gadgets. But I pray we do not get overcome with robotics?
Well, I think, it's just like when people were afraid that probably postal services were going to die with the advent of email and advent of technology, but they are here and then we are still surviving. So even if robotics come, I feel like they would in a way complement the human effort, and then we'll be getting things done even faster and more efficiently. Because have you seen surgery that is done with robot? Fantastic. Fantastic.
So I would say, and a robot would have surgery on me.
Yes.
A machine.
Yes.
That
No, don't
could run
worry.
down.
With the guidance of
Okay.
a doctor by the side. But then the cutting and everything is done perfectly. It's machine that is cutting, different from the human hand cutting something.
But I still believe it's still human. Robotics is a good for the
Don't
it's a
worry.
good thing for the future. But trust me, machines always just happens to have problems. Even
That's why there will
despite being
always be need
handled-
for humans.
Well, that is
That's
if